Question 5 in AQA English Language Paper 1 is your chance to be creative. There are 2 questions to choose from, one based on a picture and one not based on a picture. You choose one of the questions to answer and you should spend around 45 minutes on it. The questions could be narrative, writing a story or part of a story, or descriptive, but it's important to note that you won't always have a choice between the 2 types of writing, as there might be 2 narrative or 2 descriptive questions, so you need to be comfortable with both types of writing. Let's look at a typical question taken from the free sample paper which you can download at mrbruff.com. A travel website is running a creative writing competition. Either describe a journey, as suggested by this picture, or write a story with the title The Holiday. 24 marks for content and organisation, 16 marks for technical accuracy. 40 marks total. So as you can see, there are 40 marks available for this question. That's half the marks of the entire paper being awarded for just one question, with up to 24 marks available for AO5 and up to 16 marks available for AO6. Now, the key thing about this question is that it's your chance to be creative and original, and the exam board don't want to see tons of answers which follow a formulaic approach, so I don't want to give too many of those formulaic ideas in this video. What I would like to do is to go over a couple of things people often don't think about. Number 1, use the techniques writers use in Section A. Many students don't realise it, but in Section A of this exam, you're asked to analyse a high-quality piece of fiction writing, analysing its use of language in Question 2, structure in Question 3, and a variety of methods in Question 4. Then, in Section B, here in Question 5, you're asked to write your own high-quality piece of fiction writing. So the point I'm trying to make is, you should look to use the kinds of techniques you've analysed in Section A. Not necessarily in the paper you're at that moment sitting. I'm not saying you should copy anything from the source material, but the skills and techniques, the writer's methods that you've been studying all throughout the year when you're preparing for Section A of this exam, you should look to use those skills yourself in Section B. For example, aim to use some structural features in your writing. Why not have a flashback or a circular structure? Why not zoom in and out or shift in focus in a cinematic way to make your writing compelling? Those are the sorts of things you've looked at in Question 3, of course. And similarly with language, use some of those language features you've been studying all year for Question 2, pathetic fallacy, metaphor, simile, that kind of thing. The second thing is to remember that 16 marks are available for technical accuracy, and this is something a lot of students don't think about, but a little bit of preparation and planning can really help boost your marks for AO6. There are really 2 sides to technical accuracy. One is making sure you don't have any mistakes, so give yourself 5 minutes at the end to check your spelling, punctuation and grammar, and of course check your work as you're writing it as well. There's plenty of time to stop and make sure you've got everything right. The other side comes down to being ambitious in your use of technical skills. So vary sentence length and paragraph lengths, use a range of sentence openings, employ a wide variety of punctuation. And here's something else most people don't realise, these things don't happen automatically. You have to remind yourself to do them as you're writing. You have to consciously craft your answer, and you've got time to do it because this is a 45-minute question. So if this was me, I would probably in my plan draw out, the 8 different types of punctuation I want to use. I might write, cyclical structure or other things that I want to make sure I remember, sentence length, paragraph length. And then as I'm writing my piece, whether it's descriptive or narrative, I might be halfway through paragraph 1 and look back at my plan where I've not just planned my content, but the skills that I'm going to demonstrate and think, hang on, I haven't used much punctuation in this paragraph. I'm going to use a semicolon and then tick it off the list. Hang on, all my sentences are pretty similar in length. I'm going to try and have a short sentence for effect. Actually stopping and pausing and looking back at your plan or thinking about the skills you want to demonstrate in your work as you're writing is so important for this question, and you've got the time to do it. Finally, let's look at a sample paragraph. Ancient and wise, the bull swishes his tail in the ice-cold, refreshing water, creating zen-like ripples upon its calm surface. The tail's pendulum-like motion, as steady and synchronized as the most sophisticated of watch mechanisms, mesmerizes the other creatures, who, seeking a moment's respite from the harsh, unforgiving sun, have made the long, slow pilgrimage to the watering hole. This is heaven. I hope you found this video useful. If you'd like to see a longer video on this question, then you can see one just here. Click on the screen and you'll be taken to that video. Please do subscribe to the channel.